Thank you. So, in about 2023, I bought a brand new car. This is the first time in my life I've ever owned a brand new car, and it was really exciting because we'd driven beaters, we'd gotten by, and finally it got to the point where we thought we needed to do what most other people do and buy a new car. So we did our homework and we got a Subaru Crosstrek. Really great car, full of the latest technology. So it had all the bells and whistles, and it had this other cool thing, which was an app. And on the app, you could start the car, you could turn it off, you could locate it just by looking on the app. It would tell you where the car is. And so I was excited about having a brand new car and had an opportunity on a Thursday night. I have a couple of friends who are filmmakers, and they both happen to have film screening at the Philadelphia Film Festival. And so on a Thursday night, my wife Carrie and I decided to drive down to Philly, and we were going to go and check out both of these films. So they were showing at two different theaters, and we had a little bit of a break in between. So we drove down to Center City and walked a few blocks and got to the theater, and we met our friend Nancy. She's an old neighbor. We lived in Philly, and we became friends. And so we thought it would be a great opportunity to get together with Nancy again. So one note about Nancy, good friend, she doesn't like men across the board, with one or two exceptions, of which she says I'm one of the exceptions. So that's what she said at the time. Anyway, Nancy, great. We love her. She's a dear friend. We went to the theater in Center City. We watched the first film, and the plan was that I was going to, as soon as that film was over, I was going to run off and get the car and pick up my wife and Nancy in front of the theater, and we were going to buzz over to Old City and catch the other film. And so I told my wife, Carrie, I said, listen, I'll send you a text as soon as I'm in front of the theater, okay? Okay, great. So they stayed for the talk back. I run out the front of the theater as soon as the film is over, and I go across the street, and I take a right, and I look around, and I'm not sure where I left the car. Fortunately, I had the app. So I pulled open my phone, I looked at the app, and it's clearly telling me that the car is about 3 or 4 miles away over in Fairmount Park in this parking lot on the other side of the museum. So I'm in Center City, and my car's over there. And so I quick looked around to try and figure out, is my car around here somewhere? I'm sure it is, and I didn't see it anywhere, but I did see a cop sitting on the side of the road, and he was just sitting there. He had nothing to do. So he seemed like he was available. So I went over and I knocked on the window, and I said, excuse me, but I parked my car around here somewhere, and my app is telling me that it's over by Fairmount Park in the parking lot. And he said, let me see. So I handed him the phone, and he looked at it, and he handed it back to me, and he said, get in. And he got out of the car, went around, opened up the back door, put his hand on my head, and I could see. And so I slide into the back seat of the cop car. And I don't know if you've ever been in the back of a police car, but it's like this fiberglass, like, bench. And so I'm in the back of a police car, and there's nothing I can do about it now. And so he's on he's talking to the dispatcher, and flips on the siren and the lights, and he whips around, and I'm sliding across the seat, and I'm holding on to, I don't remember if there was a seatbelt back there. I think I survived it ultimately, but so he whips around, the siren's on, the lights are on, people are getting out of our way. We fly around the roundabout in front of the museum and down to a red light. He flips on the siren again, people get out of our way, and we pull into this parking lot. I'm looking at my phone. The car is still in the parking lot, according to my Subaru app. And we're driving around quietly. He hit the lights and the siren, and we're tooling through the parking lot really quietly, and I'm looking around, and I don't see my car. And so I thought this might be a good time to text my wife. So I said, hey, Care, where does my Subaru app say that our car is? And she gave me an address. and it was downtown. So my app, I just bailed on mine, and I told the cop, I said, she's saying that it's at this address. So he flips the light back on, fly out of the parking lot. We're zipping back toward downtown, toward Center City, and I got a text from my wife, and she said, "Are you at the car?" And I said, "Almost," smiley face. And we pull her. I'm in the back of the cop car. The cop pulls around the corner, and there's my car. And he pulls up to it, and he says, "Is that your car?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Is that where you parked it?" And I said, "Yeah, that is where I'm parked it." So he pulls up next to the car. He comes around, and I see two ladies walking toward the car. It was Carrie and Nancy. And they thought it was strange that I was getting out of the back of a cop car. So I walked, I get out of the car, Nancy and Carrie just looking at me. And I said to this cop, is this young guy, I said, "I'm so sorry. Is there anything I can do?" And he said, "No, it was a fun ride, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it was great." And so one other comment he made, I said, "Well, I'm really sorry." And he said, "I didn't think people could steal Subarus because they've got really great technology." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know." So I got out. I apologized to him. He let me go without doing any paperwork or anything. I got in the car with Carrie, and Nancy said, "Would you guys mind dropping me off at home because I think I've seen enough?" So we did, and we made it to the second movie. Thank you.